Hello and welcome to this review of the Duchess Society Historical Romance Book Series by Tracy Sumner. I'm Olivia, your favorite resource for book recommendations you can easily screenshot, and you're watching Random Olive Reads. The Ice Duchess is the prequel novella to the series. We have a childhood friends to lovers second chance romance with this book. Our very own Ice Countess, Georgiana, does not want to marry again after she was forced into a cruel and loveless marriage to save her father's finances. She meets her childhood crush Dex again while he's back home from his geological expeditions. He had left her many years ago before any romance could properly blossom. Now that Dex is back and promised his dying father he would wed, he realizes that he's in love with Georgiana and must convince her of his suit. I enjoyed this quick novella, and I love the setup for future books in this series. The Brazen Blue Stocking is book one of the series. Hildy is trying to clean up Tobias's image before he weds another earl's daughter, Maddie. Maddie needs a husband of convenience because she prefers women. Hildy and Tobias are instantly attracted to each other, and he doesn't think that he's good enough for her because he's a Viscount's unacknowledged bastard. He owns a huge warehouse, but has aspirations of becoming an architect, and Hildy has a lot of work to do to convince him that he's worthy of her. The Scandalous Vixen is book two of the series. Roan is a duke who has been admiring Helena for 10 years, but pretty much ruined her reputation by disparaging her in public. He draws additional unnecessary attention to her by defending her honor in a fight. And then he invites her and her sister to his estate for Christmas, and then they get caught in a compromising position and need to get married. The Wicked Wallflower is book three of the series. Pippa is Roan's younger sister, and this book actually jumps a few years ahead of book two. Pippa has an unhealthy attraction to Roan's friend Xander, a rogue and ex-smuggler. After running into each other enough times, they finally give in to the attraction, even though Xander is working through feelings of not being worthy and swearing off love. This is a fun adventure for Pippa and Xander, and they just keep staring at each other and meeting up. The Governess Gamble is a novella that falls in between books three and four. While an American heiress is waiting for an appointment, she overhears a very handsome Viscount ask for assistance in finding a governess for his new 6-year-old ward. Looking for a chance to sketch the man before she's stuck in a cold and lonely marriage, she volunteers for the temporary position. This was a very sweet and quick read, with our American lady being ultra transparent and blunt about her attraction to the Viscount. Plus, our impoverished lord is trying to resist the lady and slowly melting for his young ward. And of course, they end up having open, honest conversations about the Viscount's sad financial state, his goals, his hidden profession, plus her ruination that led her father to push her to get married. One Wedding and an Earl is book four of the series. We have tragic childhoods for both Ollie and Necessity, and that has made them both wary of romantic entanglements. Oliver, now an earl, has had a shady history of opium dens, brothels, and getting slashed in the face in a gambling hell back alley. He's now a recluse, fixing up his estate where he suffered from his abusive father. Necessity was orphaned when cholera killed her whole family, and she is soon to be the most sought after landscape architect in England. When Necessity is recruited to fix up Oliver's garden, they give in to the attraction, but neither ask for anything more, knowing their own personal traumas and vast differences in social standings. However, these two are delightfully fiery together and certainly destined for greater things if they would only allow themselves to ask for more. Two Scandals and a Scot is book five of the series. Theo runs away from her pre-wedding ball when her fiance's pregnant mistress shows up. Of course, she gets into the carriage of Dash, the friend she had helped learn to read and write, so that he could publish his book of gambling cheats. When he realizes that she's run away from her duke of a brother-in-law's house, he chases after her. And of course, they cause an even bigger scandal when they're at an inn on the road and pretty much forced to get married when Theo's family catches up with them. Since the two are friends who are very much attracted to each other, Theo proposes that they stay friends with their own independence and not fall prey to the obsessive love that surrounds the other couples in their social sphere. Bargain made, they go on to get married and settle into their new life a bit, trying very hard not to involve their emotions, which goes exactly how you'd expect it to go if you're a frequent romance reader. I really enjoyed this book and learning more about Dash's background and how he basically worships Theo and her intelligence. Three Sins and a Scoundrel is book 6 of the series. We finally get the backstory for the suspiciously proper Jasper Noble. We first met Jasper in an earlier book in the series where it seemed like he was a low-born rookery thug, but has suspicious slips of etiquette, suggesting that he may have a higher class upbringing. We find out here he's actually Crispin Sinclair, the son of a lowly baron who had his heart broken when his childhood friend and neighbor Cece marries a decrepit old earl. Crispin reinvents himself when he's working as a spy for the crown and becomes Jasper in the process, leaving his old life completely behind. It's almost 20 years later now. Cece is widowed and she's coming to London to get her man back. Except she's fumbling all over the place, and even I'm not sure what it is that she wants. Jasper is doing his best to protect his heart and his feelings, and Cece is saying that she's asking for an affair, but she might also be amenable to more. I enjoyed seeing the bickering and flirting and steam between the two, plus all of the bumbling advice that Jasper's friends are trying to give him. The Daring Debutante is the last novella of the series, and we have the next generation of our friend group here with Nigel and Arabella. Nigel was a street orphan adopted by Tobias and Hildy, now runs the gambling hell owned by Xander, Arabella's father. These two grew up together as close family friends, and now Arabella is all grown up and going after the man she wants, despite his general feelings of unworthiness and the age difference between them. This was a super quick and steamy novella where both people get the full support of their families in this relationship. Overall, I loved seeing this series develop and the friendships expand over the course of time. Everything happens in chronological order, and the cluster of friends just keeps getting bigger and bigger as they marry off and bring siblings into the mix. We really start with Georgie and Hildy, our two friends who run their Society of Vetting Suitors, and slowly grow the group of people with uh, people marrying in and bringing their siblings along for the ride. This series makes the most sense reading in order since the characters do refer to past events. If you're looking for a series of strong, independent working women and the thugs who are besotted with them, then this one is for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully you found a book or two to add to your TBR. Links to all of these books are in the description box. Like and subscribe to get updates, and you can follow me on Instagram at randomolive.